What up, guys? It's time to talk about utilizing offline servers. Now, technically, this is another activity, so whenever you can, preferably ASAP, you're going to hop in an offline server, create a server of your own, and do kind of what I talk about and go through these practices. Now, I'm going to hop in game as I talk, but I want to talk about 4 key things. Let's turn on some volume to hear this. A little less. So the things I want to talk about are angles. Obviously, you could premeditate angles. You could premeditate overall scenarios, practice pre-aims, practice grenade usage. We've talked about this stuff all course. I just want to remind you how important it is to spend time in an offline server. A lot of people think the only way to get better is to just play. But what is the quote again I shared with you guys? It's not always how much time you put in. It's what you put into that time. And I believe combining with the play and review, the last video we talked about, and then going in an offline server and just premeditating things, guys. So, like I said, talking about pre-aims, right? Going into areas and practicing the depths of how you're going to peek something if he was ducking or standing, and just getting a look at the map. It helps you because if you're only playing these maps when you actually go into a competitive game, you're not going to see as much. So the first thing is obviously pre-aims, right? It helps you with pre-aims. Next up, grenade usage, right? Like just being able to spend time in a server and say, okay, I'm going to peek this, and then really quickly snap over here and smoke CD spawn, or snap over here and smoke coffin, right? Like I know these lineups, but being able to practice these and do these on the fly is a big part of it. More importantly, planning scenarios for premeditating maybe early round CT side. So obviously, aside from just pre-aims and grenade practice, you have premeditating kind of CT and T plays in the beginning of the round. If I'm a T and I want to take banana, obviously I could talk about, okay, this is a good molly, this is a good flash. All right, I'm going to do this. Well, what's something they might do? Okay, they might nade you in the beginning. So you maybe throw your molly, avoid the nade, then flash, and go. So practice premeditating these scenarios. Look what I'm doing. Right now I have no opponent, and I'm just visualizing what happens. And I'm remembering what I experienced in matchmaking, and I'm planning. I flip it on its head. Go to the CT perspective. Okay, I'm in the beginning of the round. I'm going to molly this, and then flash this. But I notice the best spawn when I do that maybe beats that molly, and he's already here. So I'm going to counter it by throwing the deep molly to cut his support off and kill the close guy, right? You create scenarios. That's just an idea I have. Yours might be much more simple. It might be, I'm going to go stand here and hold this angle, and then I'm going to throw this flash. You have to start somewhere, but premeditating them and spending time in a server like this is very good, because then you can say, okay, that flash wasn't good because it didn't go far enough. Let's throw the flash farther. And you remember what the commands we went over? Grenade trajectory 1. So you can see how far the flash is going. And to create a server, guys, is as simple as opening your game and doing map space the Inferno from the main menu of Counter-Strike, right? And that's how I'm in here. Last but not least, obviously, recoil training. When you're around here, you could be planning scenarios and then actually feeling what you might want to do if you think there's a fight right here. Or as an AKer, right, you might think very particularly and realistic. I have an AK and I'm peeking an opera here. Use maybe patterns to practice the pre-aim and recoil. So be like, okay, I'm going to line this up. I'm just doing this on the fly, so I haven't lined this one up because I can just visualize it. But I'm going to line up this corner and go a little to the right, and I know that's right there. Okay, it's a little left now, and it's back there. And you can practice, if you really want to, practice pre-aiming things. Spending time in a server is the main point of this. You can come up with a number of ways to make it useful. Those are just a couple ways to practice pre-aims, practice grenade usage, premeditate scenarios for how the T's are going to rush CTs. You could do after plans to try to find good angles, right? It's really just spending time in a server, and I think this is a key aspect of practice. If you have your own private server and you can incorporate friends, and you can have your your friend be an opera and stand here or stand here, and have you come around the corner and take a different shot. Do this on every map. Do this on every area that you want to get better at. Obviously, it can sound tedious. You don't have to do it on every map, but it'll really help you. Just, start by yourself. Come to the server. I want to pre-aim left mid. Let's get good at pre-aiming that corner. See, I know where the edges are of these things because I could see them, and you'll get better at pre-aiming, combining the movement, everything together, guys, all right? So spend more time on the server. Jump in right now if you can before your next competitive game and choose one scenario. Premeditate it. Choose one flash. Practice it. Mess with your recoil control at the distance of throwing that flash if there was an enemy there. And then look at the angles. I promise, guys, spending more time in the map without any opponents, it also helps take off the pressure. If you're only learning under pressure situations, you're going to maybe make it a little harder on yourself than it needs to be. So have some fun with it, guys. Get creative. And if you want to, let me know how it goes.